So we just left a screening of No Escape, and how'd you feel about that one?
Well, guess who's never leaving the country again?
So Owen Wilson stars in this film, and this is his first drama/action movie since Behind Enemy Lines back all the way in 2002.
And their new overseas home, an American family soon finds themselves caught in the middle of a coup, and they frantically look for a safe escape in an environment where foreigners are being immediately executed. So I had to be honest, I really didn't know much about this going into No Escape. I knew that Owen Wilson was in this after what seemed like a sort of downswing of movies, and Pierce Brosnan after a bunch of video on demand or C-roll movies. I didn't have that high of expectations for this.
I was actually pretty excited about this film. The trailers kind of got me hyped about it. It just looked cool. It was really cool to see Owen Wilson being in this type of movie, because I really don't have any memory of him being like in that type of role. It was really something new and fresh for me.
Well, I don't know about you, but I was very pleasantly surprised with this. This was a very suspenseful movie. I knew the overall plot was going to be that there was a political coup and they're caught up in the middle, but I could have never expected how well they filmed the suspense that was happening. They caught each scene. They made you feel so scared for that family.
It was so intense. I'm sitting in the theater, and like it's like relentless the amount of terror that they go through, and it's one thing to the next, but for the most part, you are like engrossed into this film, and you feel like their lives are at stake at all times. They do get in scraps and scuffles at any given moment, and it's just like you don't know what's around every corner, which is awesome about this film. Pierce Brosnan is kind of like a wild card in this film. I mean, he shows up in the beginning, some in the middle. Every once in a while, he just comes and goes. But every time he graces the screen with his presence, he lights it up. He steals almost all the scenes he's in.
Yeah, he was very good, and I sort of knew that he was going to have an important part because he was downplayed at the beginning, and he was also a co-star in the movie. So I knew he was going to have a pivotal role in this. I just wasn't sure how much. He was excellent. Was that an Irish accent? I was never really able to quite make it out, but
British or something like
that.
Yeah,
he sort of seemed like a gun for hire or something like that. You got that vibe from the get-go with him. Strong in this movie. He helped make it a better film for sure.
The little girls in this film nailed it. That was, to me, the most impressive part, because when you're dealing with small children in a role like this and they have to be terrified, they have to be afraid, they have to cry, these girls are awesome. There's like a scene that happens inside one of the buildings, and like what the little girl says and how she's like emotion she's conveying, it's just like heartbreaking, because you just realize how scared these girls are, and that there's like literally nothing they can do or their parents really can do to protect them other than hide.
And also Lake Bell was excellent. Lake Bell was good in that she's not just the damsel in distress for 90% of the movie.
She was awesome.
She kicks almost as much ass as Owen Wilson does most of the time. She's very believable in it, and you know she carries that female lead very strongly.
So the scenes, like we said, is intense. There is a lot of action that happens. It looks great. The only down thing for me is that it was a lot of shaky cam. And this is what's keeping me from saying this is a really good film, is because there's like when it's this crazy hectic moments, the camera is just all over the place, and it's kind of hard to keep focused. This is a film though, it's like not like your standard action film that it gets away with its shaky cam more than like having all these like fist fights and shuffles like Taken 3, because it's more surreal, and I feel like you're in the moment with them. They use slow-mo in this film, and they use it to an extent that it doesn't work 100%, because like they use it, they don't use it, they use it, they don't use it in the same scene. It's kind of like on and off.
Staggered,
yeah. So it just kind of takes you out of it. They also use sound effects that you already know and expecting something to be bad, and then like when they use it, it's kind of like, all right, I already knew that was coming because this is like 30 minutes into the film. So decisions like that dial it back just a little bit.
Yeah, I kept thinking that you could compare this movie to Argo, and it has sort of a similar premise to it. People caught in the middle of a political coup, having to flee and get out of the situation. The only thing that would keep this from being at the Argo level was the very small things. The cinematography, the sound, a few plot points here and there.
Yeah, the writing wasn't the strong suit of this film. There was a lot of conveniences, and then they also fell into some cliches that were very Hollywood cookie cutter style. So that was working against it. But like I said, you're still engrossed in the film, and it's definitely a good time at the movies.
I'm scared.
It's gonna be okay.
No!
So the best compliment that I could pay to this movie is that many times when I go see a movie, I'm thinking about what I want to say during my reviews for it. And during this, I didn't think about my review at all. I was paying attention to the movie. I was on the edge of my seat. I was watching other people. They were on the edge of their seat. I can hear people saying, "Oh crap," many times. It was a solid movie. Was there a few small things here and there that could have been worked on? For sure. But still, I'm giving this 7 out of 10 reels.
See, for me, I'm right there with you on this review as well. There is just a lot of elements that worked and clicked for this movie. The acting was so great all around. I think it trips itself up in some of the writing and some of the directorial decisions that are made in this film. But man, are you paying attention and worrying for this family, and you want to see what happens and if they make it. And for that reason, like you did, I give this 7 out of 10 reels as well. This has been our review of No Escape.
If you enjoyed this review, make sure you like and subscribe down below.
This is The Real Report. Thanks for watching, guys.